What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Lucid, go over some of the data points, break it down on what is really moving it and what big money's doing. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is down 4.4%, $297 the low, $3.16 the high. Fairly volatile day, but then again, today is just more of a bloodbath across the board. So isn't anything Lucid specific today, rather just a lot of fear associated to data from yesterday. Even though today we had employment and also initial jobless claims coming in better than anticipated, a lot of people are still worried about this. A couple, what Cook said about just the broader market being very elevated, more than what it should be. And plus at the same time, you're seeing some hesitation from the broader market for the upcoming FOMC minutes, which will be in roughly about 1 hour, and also on Friday, unemployment. So a lot of different things is happening in the broader market, but like I said, I think in general, it isn't specific to Lucid. There's one bullish thing that I'm going to bring up though, that might make you think otherwise, or at least on a positive note about today. But Lucid, no official news associated to them, no SEC filing, so they are kind of just piggybacking off of the broader market. Couple unofficial things I do want to bring up. So right here, so Nick, who is the head of communications, did speak at the CES event, so joined a panel. Kind of talks on Lucid, just what it's about, nothing really crazy, so I'm not gonna kind of waste your time and go over this. But in general, I feel like Lucid should have been at the CES event. Well, technically they kind of are through the SoundHound actual booth, because SoundHound's going to be portraying their technology through the Lucid Air, but nothing specific to Lucid. So I feel like that's something that they could have definitely done. But aside from that though, pretty good stuff. Lucid's getting some free marketing of sorts, so good job, Nick. Aside from that though, so Lucid becomes the first global company in its field to join the Made in Saudi program. So I think in general, this is good. Of course, this or this isn't a real reason to buy Lucid, nor is it a reason to sell, but it's just good FYIs. When Lucid did unveil their recent numbers, I think that is, in my opinion, a pretty good reason to buy Lucid. But of course, just Lucid has had bad timing. I brought that up a couple of videos back, or like 2 videos ago. Just Lucid has good news sometimes, and they just put it out on very bad days. No fault to Lucid whatsoever. It is what it is. That's just how the market is, unfortunately. But quickly going over shorts. Shorts are really saying F you, doubling down. They're increasing 5.58 million shares. 23.06% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 274.69 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost per average is 1.06. So in my opinion, today is just a little bit lower of a volume day, because I think in general, big money is waiting for those two things, so the FOMC minutes and also unemployment on Friday. So shorts are taking advantage and doubling the hell down. I don't feel today's pullback is justified, and how I always like to do my videos, I like to go over what's happening behind the scenes. I think a lot of people just focus too much on this number right here and not what's really happening. So on a daily basis, I pretty much bring up what is happening on the secondary market above $100,000. So surprisingly, this right here, these transactions, is more than the norm for Lucid. And based on this, there's 4 sells, but the majority of these big money is actually buying Lucid. So algorithmic trading, which is very powerful, that alongside shorts, they are bringing Lucid down. Big money behind the scenes is actually buying it. Not clearly enough to push Lucid higher or anything, but big money is taking advantage and buying the dip. Again, I don't think any stock out there is more powerful than algorithmic trading. If the algos want you to go down, you are going down. So again, you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt, but ultimately, I see this part as very optimistic. So let me know your viewpoint on that, and as well, what's your thoughts on shorts really doubling the hell down. Aside from that, looking at options, kind of low volume. Same goes for just the common stock. So 908,000 in calls, 317,000 in puts. 46% of all the options being done are bearish in nature. Of the call options that are being purchased, you see a consensus for it to be roughly around that 350. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 3. So a little bit more upside is clearly anticipated. So let me know your thoughts on that. With it at 304, it is trading between these 2 points. So this pivot and this S1. 299 is going to be that next strong kind of support point. It did bounce off of that general area, might be retested once again, but $3.23 is going to be the next strong kind of target slash resistance point. And so quickly going over here, there was this, so the last 3 ratings. So as a byproduct of Lucid putting out their numbers, you had a sell from Morgan Stanley, a hold $3 by Cantor, and then stifle 350. So hopefully some analysts out there, as a byproduct of Lucid's upcoming earnings on February the 25th, will see some upside with Lucid, because I think generally, like, no stock, like, I don't know why people are so bearish on Lucid. I get the fact that they're burning through quite a lot of cash and they're not profitable, but I think that's just very narrow-minded thinking. But what do I know, right? On the actual chart itself, so it is below the ALMA, kind of bouncing off of that general area, so that 100 and also 200-day moving averages. So that 100 is 297, so it did bounce off of that. So at least below us, we have a lot of good support. So in general, today's maybe unjustified sell-off might get bought up and potentially trending higher, or if it does break below this, then you could have that free fall down to that 50-day moving average, which is 247. Anything is possible. Sometimes my crystal ball is wrong and stuff like that, but generally when it comes down to Lucid, I like the product. They are making improvements, maybe not to the fastest degree that a lot of people would like, but they are making improvements, and I think that's the more important takeaway rather than anything. And big money, like I said, is actually buying it, even though it's not really causing the stock price to go higher. So if you believe in Lucid, take advantage of these dips, because potentially it could be unjustified, in my opinion. So let me know your thoughts on that. And then this is going to be a little bit more of a off-topic kind of speech or event or whatever else, but I brought up in the past, the data points that's been coming out are very strong. So the market right now is freaking out over these numbers right here. And so more jobs being available, just individuals don't want these jobs. And you also have to think that the economy in its entirety is becoming more efficient through AI. So a lot of these jobs, yes, are available, but I'm sure a lot of them could be consolidated down. A lot of the data that's been coming out shows that the economy is very strong, aside from this right here. So I think in general, we are going to be entering into a period that kind of similar to the Industrial Revolution and whatever, it's going to be the AI revolution. So I think there is going to be more, or I guess less and less dependence on labor-related data going forward. But that's, I know I'm kind of talking several years out and too early and stuff like that, but in my opinion, I'm not too worried about this, because a lot of the other data points are very strong. So a lot of stocks today, I've been kind of buying the dip when there's a lot of fear, because I know a lot of the data points behind the scenes are very good. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think today's pullback is justified? And whatever else. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon, where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers, so pop over there and take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.